that's a big bite. Goitrogen, I can't pronounce it. How's it going, everybody? My name is Cameron and you're watching Killer Cam, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about my Uromastyx and her dietary needs. Let's get right into things. So right back here is my female yellow Nigerian Uromastyx. I got her about a year ago in August at the Midwest Reptile Expo, and she's been a fantastic pet for me ever since. While Uromastyx can require a little bit of advanced care, if you just get a few basics down, they're really simple pets and rewarding pets to have in a home. So lately I've been getting a few questions from people on social media about some of the care requirements for this girl. And I did a video about a year ago when I first got her on some general facts, but I think I want to do a series of videos that will help you guys learn how to care for these animals and maybe inspire you to get your own Uromastyx. With that being said, today we're going to go ahead and start off with one of the most, arguably important things when it comes to having a pet is what you feed it. Now, Uromastyx are almost 100% herbivorous, and they eat mostly plants and different kinds of seeds out in the wild. While occasionally they will snack on some insects if they are scarce, and vegetables and seeds and those kind of things, but mainly they do stick to leafy greens, vegetables, and seeds. There is some debate in the reptile keeping hobby that says that Uromastyx do better with having about 4% of their diet being insects and insect protein, which this is just not true. In general, Uromastyx like a low protein diet anyways, and you can supplement different means of protein into their diet through different seeds and lentils and those kind of things that you would put in their salads. By no means do I think that the people that feed their Uromastyx a small amount of insects are doing things wrong, because I don't think it's detrimental to the animal if they do get a small amount of insects. But I do believe that the better way to do it is to completely cut off insects from your Uromastyx and give them a full salad and herbivorous diet. Now, since we're on the topic of diet and things that Uromastyx eat, one cool fact about Uromastyx is when they're younger, they'll usually eat the parents' feces to gain a better gut load and bio load in their stomach to propel them into adulthood. So when making a salad for your Uromastyx, there's 3 things that you want to keep at a moderate level for them so that they don't get too much of it, which could potentially harm them. The first of those being oxalates. Oxalates bind to calcium and keep your Uromastyx from being able to absorb that calcium into their bones, and that would cause metabolic bone disease over time, giving them floppy and soft bones. We also want to watch out for glycosides, because glycosides can cause a whole handful of side effects and can eventually lead to death. Some of those side effects being like diarrhea and dehydration, which both of those can lead up into death in reptiles very quickly. And the last of these phytotoxins that we're going to be looking out for is called goitrogen. Basically, goitrogen has another whole list of side effects that come with it, but basically it just leads into hypothyroidism and obesity very quickly in your animals. Things like bok choy have them in there, and cabbage, and those kind of white, hard, crunchy vegetables usually have a lot of them in there. Before actually assembling my Uromastyx official diet, I did a whole bunch of research and stumbled upon this website called Moon Valley Reptiles, which has a very, very in-depth breakdown of your Uromastyx diet and what should be in it and what should be in it and why not. Those kind of things should or shouldn't be in the salad. So if you're interested, I'll link it down below because it is a good reading material and it saves me from having to answer 100 questions after this video. With all that in mind, let me go ahead and show you what we're going to be putting into Piper's salad today. The bulk of what's going to be in her salad is going to be some chard and some baby arugula. Starting off with chard, there's so many different kinds of chard and colors of chard, but they're all really the same just depending on the color of them. There's rainbow chard, Swiss chard, red chard, and like Fresh Thyme had like yellow chard or something too. That was cool. I went ahead and went with red chard. Chard is high in calcium, high in vitamins A, K, and C, and it's also a good source of dietary fiber. The only downside to chard is that it's moderately high in oxalates, which is something I'm gonna have to balance out with something else that I'm putting in the salad. And that's where the arugula comes in, because it has a great calcium to phosphates and calcium to oxalates level. It's almost 3 calcium to every 1 phosphate that you would find in arugula. Always balance out your reptile salad so they can get the best of both worlds. I'm also going to be adding a butternut squash because it is super high in vitamin A, vitamin B6, and again, another great source of dietary fiber. I'm also going to be adding some of this big aloe vera leaf. Every time I put aloe vera in her cage, she just destroys it. It's mostly water, but for desert animals, it is very nutritious, but like I can't find on the internet why it's nutritious, but she loves it. And earlier I was speaking about adding protein into the diet of a Uromastyx without having to feed them insects and other forms of protein. And for that I'm going to be using some of this wheatgrass. Wheatgrass is like 25% protein, and it's great for reptiles and humans alike. The only downside is that it tastes like grass. I'm sure she loves it, but you gotta put this in like a smoothie with some strawberries for me. And hands down, probably the best thing that I'm putting in Piper's salad today is gonna be a papaya. Papaya are one of those fruits that can actually be a staple in a salad because though they do have a moderately high sugar level, it's kind of counteracted by everything else that's great about them. There's high water in them, so the sugar passes relatively quickly, but it's also got a calcium to phosphate level and calcium to oxalate level of 5:1. So it's just packed with calcium, and it's going to be great for developing bones, especially since Piper's still very young. She'll need a lot of calcium to keep her growing. And the last thing that I'm going to be putting in her salad is something that's in her cage like year round, is some of this birdseed with a whole bunch of little millets. And I'm just going to like sprinkle that right on top. All right, now let's go ahead and get all this stuff chopped. Okay, so we're going to be starting off with our Swiss chard, and first you want to go through and devein all of them. Get that big fibrous vein right out of the middle. That'll just be extra hard for the Uromastyx to eat. Great, so now that you have them all cut, lay them out in strips like this. And press them down and roll them up. Once you have it all nice and rolled tight, do thin little slices to get nice little ribbons. It'll be a manageable size for all of your reptiles to eat. Go ahead and hit it once time down the middle. Pick it up, put it into the Tupperware. We're now going to be moving on to the baby arugula, which will help balance out some of the medium level of oxalates that are there in the chard with the high amount of calcium that's in this baby arugula. Get yourself a nice pile of arugula going on, and then just hit it with the knife a couple of times to get it to a more manageable size for your reptiles. Piper's quite small, and this is going to be mainly for her, even though Doom will be eating some. So I'm going to chop it up a little bit smaller for her. Put it in the Tupperware. Next, we're going to be hitting up some of this wheatgrass, and this you really don't even have to cut up. You just gotta trim it a little bit. And sprinkle it in. We'll do just a little bit more. Great thing about wheatgrass is it just keeps growing. I do need to replot this one into a bigger pot so that way it can expand and grow a little bit bigger. But if you don't completely kill off the entire plant, it'll just keep growing taller, and you'll have just an infinite supply of high protein vegetable for your reptiles. Now we're going to cut up this aloe vera. Make sure you take a sponge to it though and wash it off because it does have like a silicone or like latexy kind of coating on the outside, which is really bitter, and your reptiles just don't want to eat it. We're going to save some of this because I plan on eating some aloe vera this week too, so we'll cut this guy right in half. Set this part aside. Now I'm going to take off some of the spiky spines on here just because I can't imagine that'd be pleasant eating. Now that we've got it like this, your Uromastyx and all the other herbaceous reptiles can eat the skin, so you don't have to worry about it. What we're going to do is we're going to cut it once down the middle, I think. This side's a little bit thicker, so we'll cut it down again. then we'll just chop it into small little chunks. You can see aloe vera is just full of water, which is great for Uromastyx who aren't known for drinking standing water and really don't like any humidity in their cage. This is a great way for them to get their hydration. We'll throw this in. Next, we're breaking down this butternut squash. We'll go ahead and chop off the top to give us a good place to start grating it from. And that's exactly how you should feed it to your Uromastyx, is grated. They're just so hard that if you cut them into big chunks, it'll be a problem for your animal to chew up and to try and swallow something that large. And as you can see, it makes quite a bit of mess. So be prepared to clean your kitchen before your girlfriend comes home. All right, now we're getting down to the pit where you can kind of see that the seeds are at. And this is about where you'd want to stop because there's just a bunch of seeds and gunky stuff in here after this. So I'll toss this one. Freshly shredded squash. Your Uromastyx is gonna love this stuff. And now the star is our papaya. Again, calcium to phosphate, calcium to oxalate ratio of 5:1. This will be great for your Uromastyx. They'll literally get on their knees and pray to you after you feed them some of this. Cut this bad guy right in half. And you'll see all these beautiful, beautiful seeds in here. Okay, Google. Are papaya seeds edible?
On the website healthline.com, they say, papaya is a fruit beloved for both its delicious flavor and exceptional nutrient profile. Unfortunately, many people often discard its seeds and favor the fruit's sweet flesh. What they don't realize is that the seeds are not only edible but also highly nutritious.
Next, you're gonna take out a spoon and scrape out the seeds. Those seeds are highly nutritious to humans. They're not very beneficial to other reptiles like bearded dragons, and I couldn't find much information about it towards Uromastyx, so I choose not to feed the seeds to my Uromastyx or any of my other herbivorous lizards. We're then gonna cut the papaya in half again to make it easier to peel off the skin because that's really tough, and my bearded dragon hates it, and so does Piper. Now we'll go ahead and peel it. There we go. We got the beautiful fruit and the skin here, and you can just snack on this part and get the rest of the fruit out. Just like that. Delicious. I'm now going to cut these into really small chunks. They are quite soft, but I do want to make sure that they're small enough to fit in Piper's tiny little head. And then put it in. And the finishing touches, a little bit of millet seed. Put the lid on your Tupperware. Shake it up. And just look at that. A beautiful salad, well balanced, high in calcium, low in phosphates and oxalates, and it's really got everything that you would need for a staple salad for your Uromastyx. Now that we got that salad made, let's go ahead and take out the old salad from 2 days ago and put in this brand new salad that we just made. This is my little girl, Piper. I caught her walking across the cage, decided to snatch her up. She is still a little bit squirmy, but we're getting better. Let's see if she'll want to eat her salad. Nope, it looks like we want to play hide and seek instead. She's eyeballing the salad, deciding if she actually wants to come down from her hide and take a bite of the salad. Come on, Piper. I just made you a 5-star meal. You gotta come down and try it. No? Climb the wall? Okay. What a good girl. Oh, that's a big bite. And that's all I've got for you guys today. We fixed Piper a bomb salad. I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you liked the video, give me a big thumbs up because I need those kind of things. And until next video. See you later.